Oh my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well as a triple. Oh, look at Tahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting on the 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by Regen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with his friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week number 2 here in Nexus Gaming Series. If you're a Murda fan and you happen to have seen, I had a cast going on tonight. I missed it. I slept through it. I'm sorry. So we have a bonus stream tonight, and who was supposed to join me earlier is still here with me now. I have to give a big sorry and thank you. B-Train, welcome. How you doing tonight, man?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. First of all, thank you for having me. Thanks for showing me what a great stream this can be. And now that we're both here, I'm super excited to see what we can get accomplished.
So we're in the lobby. We're loading in. We got Sack of Bricks, and we got Azmo carry. We're headed into Dragonshire for game number 1. Pretty thrilled to see this. Division D West. I have not gotten to cast from this division. Last night I was in Division D East. B-Train, any knowledge here on D West that you want to share?
Not specifically on either of these teams. I did cast a Division D East game, and it was actually the best series I've casted yet, and I've casted an A game, a B game, and a C game. So Division D is really competitive, and a lot of people tend to overlook that at times, so I think everybody who's here is going to be in for a pleasant surprise. Yeah, absolutely. Last night was an absolute thrilling set. Here on twitch.tv/MurdaRG, we saw Luciodology and Olaf and the Sweaty Bandits go to game number 3. If you missed it, I don't know if I should give you the spoiler. I might just tell you, head on over to YouTube right now, search for MurdaRG, or go over to the Nexus Gaming Series YouTube page, look at that VOD, watch it. It's incredibly fun to watch. It goes to game number 3. You'll love to see it. But let's check out these bans, because we see Genji and now Azmodan banned out by Azmo Carry. Banning away their own hero, it looks like. Yeah, banning Azmo. Maybe he doesn't carry after those nerfs he received, so maybe they've decided to switch it up a little bit. But the Genji ban's particularly interesting to me because he's not as popular as he once was in the meta. A bunch of numerous nerfs to him have, kind of reduced his amount of carrying potential in team fights, and now he's more of a situational pick for a finisher. Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct. So much has gone from Blizz nerfing his Swift Strike that it's just so tough to feel confident sending yourself in as such a squishy hero like Genji. If you miss that kill, you're good as dead in most situations. Do you want to say thank you for the follow, Angel of War 7896, and thanks for that host hybrid remix for hanging out with us tonight. Ooh. Jaina ban smells to me like they really don't play well maybe against the soft CC that she could provide, or that they're looking to have some kind of more mobile, or excuse me, more melee oriented offensive style.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wonder if maybe they're target banning Stixa, who's the DPS player here for Sack of Bricks. He participated last season in the Heroic Division on a team called Bad Manners. And now he's playing down here in Division D West. And I'm like, yo, Stixa, I didn't even know this was your team, my man. So I'm curious to see how he's going to break out today in this matchup. And first off, we got to talk about these picks coming in. And it's Diablo for Sack of Bricks.
And Diablo always been at the top of the meta. Getting through bans is a miracle on its own. Being first pick is pretty common, and he did receive about a second cooldown on his 2 abilities, Charge and Overpower, in the last patch. But alright, there's a Gazlo on board.
Not only the Gazlo, we're also getting Brightwing. So these are 2 heroes you don't often see picked in the 1-2 slot, but Showstopper and Deconnect. How do you pronounce that name? We'll call him Decon. So Showstopper and Decon. Early picks here on a couple of heroes you don't see picked too often. That's my dog crying. So let me pass the mic over to you for a second. Let me check on him.
Roger that, I've got it. And instantly coming through, we have Coffin Hitler, as many of you have heard me call Orphea. quite an annoying hero to play against. She has lots of mobility, lots of poke. She can do outstanding amounts of damage. And then they're going to instantly lock up their solo laner as well, as they picked up Sonya. The top lane is super important on Dragonshire. So you want to have a hero who can wave clear, who can duel effectively, or and trade very well. And then a hero who's not as gankable. And Sonya provides that, being a little bit tankier. We're going to see the Anaban coming out. They don't want any of those negative healing, nor do they want a a nano boosted target. And Orphea could potentially be a great nano target.
So I'm back. Sorry about that.
Roger.
Dude,
did you hear?
I did. I heard a little bit of Ana talk there, and I was heading back.
Oh, I was going to ask if you heard our makeshift name for Orphea, as Orphea is not the name I give her.
Oh, what's her real name now?
Her real name is Coffin Hitler.
Oh God.
Anyone who watches the games I've casted knows exactly how I feel about her, and that's a great description in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I have a name for Stukov, and that's Space Hitler. So.
Okay, very well. So the Stitches ban is interesting to me.
Imperious Arthas, so slows, stuns. What's the combo here? Where's the damage? There has to be another hero in this comp. Obviously, there's one more pick, but it's gonna have to be a lot of damage coming out of that last slot, because I just don't see it quite yet. I know Imperious, a bully in the solo lane, but all I see right now really is a bunch of solo lane type heroes.
So I look at this and like I alluded to earlier, you know, a melee heavy style, and they have that certainly. Gazlo in the 4-man is different than solo lane Gazlo. So he has a bruiser build where he does decent sustain, he has wave clear, he's kind of a jack of all trades. But if you have Imperious in that top lane, there is a laser build for Gazlo that turns him into an insane bursty long range DPS. And he provides lots of sustain with the turrets and zone control, so that could be what they're looking into here.
Yeah, I mean, zone control bottom lane, this is Dragonshire. It's effective.
It's about
so we'll see if Gazlo is going to be used in that way. Be my best guess, but I mean, we never know. He could always just be the one they're trying to send up to the top in the solo lane. But hey, chat, you've seen these picks, and you know what time it is. It's time for you to vote. You think we have Sack of Bricks taking home game number 1? Hashtag SOB in chat. If you think Azmo carry has what it takes, hashtag Azmo in chat. What are your thoughts, B-Train? Because I'm kind of torn here. I like what I see in terms of damage on the left-hand side out of Sack of Bricks, but curious if maybe a bit more focus and a game plan, as odd as it might be, on the other side from Azmo carry.
So I look at these two drafts, and I want to believe in the wombo potential from Azmo carry. The Gazlo, especially if you go into that Gravo bomb, you can set up some insane combos. My only issue is I look at that, and they don't have, number one, a point-and-click lockdown for the Orphea, who also just outranges them, as Tychus is a good auto-attack hero. He's a tank buster, but he's not got the longest auto-attack range, so he kind of has to play a little unsafe.
I think that point-and-click stun is a really great point. Orphea should have opportunity here to be completely loose in this matchup. And not only that, you're also talking about Sonya, who, I mean, if she's not getting rooted or stunned by Gazlo bombs or polymorphed by Brightwing, it's going to have to be on Arthas and Imperious to land some skill shot stuns on Sonya, or she's just going to spin this entire game. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop talking and head into introductions, because we are here in game number 1, and over on the left-hand side, we got Morales, played by Malorum. Styx is going to be on Rainer, Shancy be on Orphea. Andrade is going to be our Diablo player. And up in the top lane, Megu Milk on Sonya. Ladies and gentlemen, they are Sack of Bricks.
And on the right side, here in the red, if I get any of these names right, please correct me after. We got A-Dubs on Imperious, Decon on the Brightwing, Showstopper on that Gazlo, ready to grind some gears, Blake Eclipse on the Tychus, and I make the poopy on Arthas.
I make it the poopy. I'm going to have fun with that. I'm sorry ahead of time. Twitch chat, B-Train as well. I think it's funny. I don't know. I'm just going to have fun with it. Mid lane though, looking at our level 1 talents, I don't know if I've seen any Orphea players pick up Ancestral Strength the past couple times. I've watched Orphea play. I want to say it's a W talent I've seen more often. which I don't know the name of right now because I don't really play too much Orphea. But I'm curious there. Maybe this is the smarter pick, that Q build without that lockdown stun. Maybe the mobility is really what would make sense best in this matchup.
Yeah, and I'm looking at level 1 talents as well, and like I mentioned for Tychus, he doesn't have like the greatest AA range, but press the advantage is the pickup for him. So after using that dash, he does have that increased basic attack range for the duration of 3 seconds.
Fantastic there. It's going to be the phase shift build from Brightwing. Not going for a polymorph build, which maybe gets some value into having this Orphea in your face, the Sonya as well. Instead, going for the big heals, you got the big boy Diablo, Arthas and Imperius here, that you have a lot of opportunity to get that tremendous extra percentage heal. So maybe makes sense here. And Brightwing, a hero you don't see often, a hero I play often though. I don't know as much phase shift build. Oh, look at this. Morales jumped on bottom lane, 57 health. Malorum surviving. B-Train, that was our first look at a fight. Any thoughts there?
That minigun value almost enough to secure the kill. The grenade not quite on line, excuse me, with Titan Killer or quarterback. But we did see a 3-man rotation to the top lane where a lot of people kind of tend to not focus on the solo lane matchups. But Sonya did miss an entire wave of XP trying to take that point from Gazzo. And we see it showing if you look at the XP bars. They are behind a little bit.
Oh, that charge on Blank Eclipse. You see that into the wall. It was so close. But just Raynor there, not enough burst. If they had Orphea in range, probably the first blood of the game. But instead, Tychus all the way back to base will have full health. As we're still here in this first objective phase, neither team having opportunity to get this full channel on the Dragon Knight. Our red team on the right-hand side, Azmo carry doing a great job up top, pairing up this Arthas and Brightwing, making sure Sonya is not getting too much action. Down bottom, fight breaking out here, B-Train.
Showstopper barely squeaking out of there. Brightwing is going to use the port down and get that percent healing. They've already swapped the solo lane matchup and stuck the Arthas up there with the Sonya. So now Imperi is playing the role of the main tank, but bringing Gazzo into your 4-man provides an outstanding amount of wave clear. And if Orphea is trying to hold those abilities for follow-up, they're going to actually get out-cleared by this Gazzo comp.
I mean, you're exactly right. I'm wondering why they don't want to pull this Imperius down and just leave, like, Gazlo mid or something else. I know that Gazlo's getting value with these turrets inside this bush and hanging out being a nuisance, but there's not a lot of threat here right now from Azmo carry. And without that threat, I mean, with the Morales, she can just step up and heal this Diablo as deep as she wants in this fight over this point.
Styx putting an intense amount of pressure on A-Dubs, escaping in that top lane. As hold up, we got a fight going into the bottom as Gazzo's going to get flipped in by the Diablo. He's going to get charged as Tychus is letting it rip with the minigun, stacking up that in the rhythm. Gazzo is going to fall. The polymorph saved him for a little bit, but not quite enough, as we do see the first blood go over to Sack of Bricks.
And about time they got first blood. You see him picking up second blood right there. I felt so far in this game, Sack of Bricks coming out to play, looking good, but haven't been able to secure the kill. And finally, you see 2 in quick succession right there, putting them on the board 2-0. Peeking at who got those, 1 for Orphea, 1 for Raynor. So both these DPS getting it done here. About 4 minutes and 30 seconds in, both teams just about level 7. There it is, as Azmo carry is going to pick those up here.
And I think that's the issue you have in that bot lane. Sustainability only amounts as much as you can tank damage, and without having a tank there, as both of them rotated top lane, I think they immediately saw the pressure, and that's why Diablo got that snap engage, and they made work of it. But Gazzo and Tychus both electing to go into those stacking quests, so with Steam Fist for the Gazzo turrets, and extending their duration when you auto-attack, he can really put up an entire city down here.
Up top, Arthas in big trouble, and I make the poopy is down. That was just a veteran play by Styx, honestly. He made the rotation up with Raynor, stood in the bush, waited to see Arthas as extended as possible. And then comboed up with Sonya, found the kill, and that's going to give them the top shrine and an opportunity here to get a DK.
And Imperius should have the stall mid lane, as Gazlo is going to secure the bottom fort here, or the bottom point, excuse me. But we have seen multiple rotations from both teams to the top lane, but ultimately, Sack of Bricks has gotten value on every single one of theirs, as to where Azmo carry hasn't gotten that value.
Well, you're right. Sonya is struggling a bit. in the top lane matchup. Not able to control the point on her own, having to use Raynor. Maybe if Raynor is still down in the bottom lane, they could have held it after that kill, but can't win fights on both sides of the map with the same hero. So instead, we're still sitting here in our first objective phase, getting close to heroic talents though. And first to action looks like it might end up being Sack of Bricks, as they're going to grab a siege camp in the bottom lane of their own to match the pressure from Azmo carry. But really, until we get these heroic talents, probably not too much going to happen. But we're right on it, and there it is, level 10 Speed Train.
Yeah, level 10's coming through, and instantly we're going to see Orphea going into the Crushing Jaws, really the CC setup. Well, Diablo's going to have that Lightning Breath to kind of give a little bit of value for Ace in the Hole, which is Raynor's level 1. The only ult not locked in yet for Morales, as we have Wrath of Berserker for Sonya, allowing her to have intense 1v1 dueling pressure. And then just typical Hyperion out from Raynor.
So we're currently in a situation, both Shrines in control of Azmo carry. Trying to get back on the point now is Diablo and Orphea, and this could be a lot of damage. Crushing Jaws might be able to be set up here if they want to rip it. So far nothing, just a lot of Gazlo turrets and bombs being thrown in here. Great job by Morales though, keeping everyone at full health, and really again, not a lot of threat up against Malorum in this bottom lane without either of these tanks here. You see Morales able to step up so far when it should be pretty easy for Azmo carry to step up and counter this Morales in most situations. Not really able to do it here without the tank.
Yeah, and Bruiser Camp top lane is going to push in as Sonya and A-dubs are going, and the Brightwing is going to blink top to help Imperius as they're going to get the spear turnaround with the poly on Sonya, and she should fall here. As she does, that is going to be a good kill in the top lane, but here in the bottom, Tychus and company playing in the 2v3 with no support. Stepping up is Showstop. He's going to get hit by the Crushing Jaws, and actually is going to perish before that hits. Blank Eclipse is going to have to leave here and evacuate it. Is it a 4v1? And like you alluded to, you know, without a tank and with Tychus going in the rhythm, stacking up that minigun for more length duration, as we see a 3-man rotation mid as they were out really far. Brightwing does have blink heal, so she can't escape. The Stim Drone is going to be used onto the Raynor. Brightwing is going to get that spell armor. Arthas looking to get the peels, but Raynor is going to secure that with the knockback, and we are going to see the cheese sprays coming out. A little cheeky play. But yeah, like I was alluding to, we also have Syndra Gosa out from I Make the Poopy.
I like Syndra on Dragonshire. I mean, if you can win a DK, you're talking about a lot of push potential. But you're also talking about winning a DK. And right now, they're down 5-1 in kills. 6 of them in trouble at mid. Raynor, 203 health behind the wall. Now maybe turning it around. No. I did get Morales to step up and help, but just going to wait for the team. Diablo coming down. Sonya's still top. Orphea bot looking for this DK, and it's going to be broken down bottom by Tychus as Azmo carry is going to regain control of the bottom shrine.
Yeah, they're actually, Sonya's going to spear into the backline as Diablo turns around with that Unstoppable. Going to hit that Lightning Rush. Showstopper forced to pop the armor with the Robo Goblin. They're going to get the huge turnaround spear onto Sonya. She loses about half her HP. Ultimately, a couple ults traded here. No real value gained in either team fight. And it's still a 1-1 as far as Shrine Control goes. And we did see Gazlo right there with that usage of Robo Goblin, getting that armor and the move speed. So no setup from Grab Bomb here.
Yeah, I wonder why they want to do that. You get the Odin, of course, at level 20. Big red buttons looks like a complete win button. If you can combo that up with something like a big root from Arthas, upgraded Syndra Gosa at 20, you get obviously your spears and stuns from Furious. As we're seeing this Tychus in trouble and down. Blank Eclipse just out too far. Crushing Jaws. Orphea puts another one on the board. But yeah, back to that, the Robo Goblin. We'll see if it ends up paying off not having the Gravo Bomb. So far, not too much going in terms of kills for Azmo carry.
And we do see a 3-man rotation top here. It's the top lane. Yeah, you see the Danger Pigs coming out on Brightwing. Showstop is going to try to get out. He's already got the spell armor from the Brightwing. If he pops the Robo Goblin, he should make it out here. The Cleanse going to come through from Brightwing. Good play on the support side. I want to talk about talents here for a second. We saw Tychus elect to go into that in the rhythm. But at level 13, against an Orphea who is primarily spell damage, we did see That's the Stuff instead of Neosteel. As Andre, on Diablo, super low, getting chased down by the Arthas. He's got 260 health. He's going to get hit by the Kobe grenade from Blank Eclipse, hitting him with that water balloon. But they're not done. Poopy's turning around, going to hit the one-man root. Actually going to miss as Malaram goes back and sidesteps himself and loses a little bit extra health for it, but ultimately no trade.
Yeah, good job getting out of that one there.
Yeah, back to the Robo Goblin pickup as well. As, hold up, they won't stop fighting. Styx is going to get hit by the Brute here. Gazlo doing intense AA damage with that Robo Goblin. Which, as I was saying, they were running a tank mid and a tank top. So with Gazlo taking Robo Goblin and the Goblin repairs at 1, he can almost act as like a bruiser frontline for that bottom lane.
Okay. I mean, you've obviously played more Gazlo than me, so if that's the case, maybe it makes sense, but I mean, up against something like a Diablo, I mean, is that ever going to be enough? I honestly don't think so. So we're
I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, we're still here in control. What a stun that time by Gazlo, but didn't stay to finish the kill, and good supporting there by Morales. Great job of Azmo carry throughout this game so far, just being a nuisance on these points. You see every single time they're losing fights, it's 6-2 in kills, but they haven't lost an objective yet, and it's because they're staying on top of all these channels on the shrines. Up top, Orphea in trouble again, and Shane CB is down. Didn't stay in the bruiser armor that time. And a smart pickup there, and maybe this is going to be opportunity for Azmo Carry finally to get a crack at one of these objectives. We're level 16, still no DKs.
Not sure how much of that top gank you saw, but it was actually a gank attempt onto Gazlo as Orphea did drop all of her abilities and try to set up that crushing jaws. As Blink Eclipse is going to eat the spear, get the turnaround, Brightwing's going to blink over, and this is a 3v2 top lane. Tychus letting it rip with the minigun, and that's the stuff's going to get a lot of value as Malarum is going to fall. Blink Eclipse taking so much damage. That's the stuff not going to save you as Gazlo and Brightwing still win this 1v2. But as I was saying, Gazlo was getting ganked, and he hit him with the absolute Prince-like dance moves, dodging out every ability from the Orphea combo, and he just skirted away as Brightwing gets the heals as the 2v1 is going, and Sonya's actually trading really well against Gazlo. Gonna use that spear to get out.
I mean, yeah, the only thing that's going to shut down Sonya in that matchup is the Polymorph, and Brightwing took a couple, Unstable Anomaly, I think, a smart pick, the Criterize as well. But not having the extra range, the cooldown reduction at level 1, does it make that much of a difference? I don't know. So far, maybe. But Sonya definitely going to be able to win matchups up against a Gazlo for sure.
Hyperion committed mid. They didn't get the kill on Arthas, but probably a decent trade-out as they did secure most of the wall with that. And both shrines actually about to be controlled. We are going to see Gazlo and Sonya have the 1v1 top. The Brightwing blinked recently to mid lane as Showstopper absolutely pounding on Megu Milk, giving him the clamps. But the DK goes over to Sack of Bricks.
Yeah, so sorry, chat, I missed the kill. I was hanging out watching the cap, but looks like Gazlo just made me look like a fool. I said, Sonya's not scared of Gazlo, and Gazlo does exactly what I wasn't expecting, killing Sonya in the top lane. But it is a DK, and it's going to be, you know, a pretty significantly late game, I guess. I mean, mid to late game DK. So it's going to get some value down bottom. They got through the wall, getting through the well now. Can they get through a structure? Still 44 seconds and 60% health here, V-Train.
Yeah, I questioned the In the Rhythm pick earlier, but getting absolute value is Blink Eclipse. 146 stacks on that, and he is chewing through this DK, already losing about 72% of its HP, and that bottom fort is still pretty much intact.
Maybe turn on Gazlo. Showstopper, oh, just barely out of range of that overpower from Diablo. He's gonna get out, skirt away with his life. And overall, look at this, you're right, Tychus, what a great job in defense. Didn't even have to use Odin. And Azmo Carry doesn't lose one of their forts during post-16 DK. That's incredible.
Yeah, the anti-siege is pretty phenomenal as, you know, if Diablo is going to commit to a fight now, usually if you're going to have the Arthas there and the Brightwing, when you go in, there's no getting out. You're going to be slowed forever. Arthas is the king of the chase as, you know, Death has cold hands and it's going to slow you forever.
So both teams currently looking at their siege camps. So this will be matched in the bottom lane. Checking down bottom right now is Shan CB on the Bruiser camp. Also going to start it heading in on Andrade. But we'll see if Azmo Carry wants to have a similar idea right now. Maybe they're going to head down here. Could be a little skirmish. So eyes on Arthas and Brightwing. Now it looks like they're going to hang out in lane. So Bruiser can't pick up here for Sack of Bricks to give them an advantage in this bottom lane right now.
Looking at the top lane, you do see the Bruiser stacked up, and Gazlo and Tychus are up here. That's a lot of the damage and the anti-siege potential that they have with no DPS bot lane. So this bottom fort looks to be good for dead.
Yeah, a Bruiser can't push it in. There's the Hyperion. Diablo's going to walk right up to this fort, and that's going to be our first structure of the game down bot, but up top, it will be matched by Azmo Carry with a very formidable push here on their own. Bruiser camp. This is Gazlo. You got Tychus as well, who could just rip an Odin right now if he wants. They could threaten this keep right here, right now, if they want to, DJ.
Speaking of a threatened keep, Diablo gets the overpower on Poopy, flipping him over and out of that wall. Crushing Jaw is going to hit only Imperius. Stim Drone was committed here, so Styx looking to absolutely chunk away with those autos. And I don't think it's worth trading top seed for bot keep under any circumstance, because not a lot of games you see end on the Death Bridge lane.
Wait, V-Trade, what the hell just happened? We sat here through like 15, 16 minutes of the game, no structures down, pretty slow paced in the siege front, and then over the course of 1 minute, these teams explode for siege damage, and this map is now opened up with our second objective phase starting. Either team winning a DK could get a keep down and potentially, if there's enough kills, win this game.
Yep, and we do see the 5-man bottom as level 20s come online, and Gazlo has that Mecha Lord. He is an absolute chunky boy now. Those melees are going to do work to anything on this entire field. It's going to be 100% increased damage to, 200% increased auto attack damage from his basic free level 10. Big flank by Diablo as the Cinder Ghost is going to go out and Imperius is going to land the spear onto Morales. Lots of damage going on, and Diablo hitting such a big flank that he's going to lose 2 of his own teammates before they even hit the gate. Help pings are out, but with these towers down, I'd like to see him push in a little bit more with the Gazlo siege.
Yeah, I mean, as good as we both can agree that Diablo flank was starting to look, never made it there in time. Gazlo turrets knocking him off his horse. So Andrade never made it to the fight, and his team got deleted before he ever showed up. Up top, though, Sonya still there the whole time, pushing with the Bruiser camp, trying to find another structure for Sack of Bricks, as they also control this top shrine. Rotations are going to come out from Azmo Carry, but Diablo and Raynor, they're still here bot. Maybe can reconvert the bottom shrine, see if Tychus and Brightwing. Imperius also coming around, see if they have anything to say about it.
Yeah, this is going to be a 4-on-2 bottom here, and you got to be really careful for Diablo now, as Tychus does have Sizzle intact, so he's going to be chilling and grilling away with these percent-based auto attacks on everything, as Raynor, oh god, is going to get blown up by the minigun and the spear. Entrade is running away. Full souls, ladies and gentlemen. That was one tanky Diablo, and they just made him look like he was made of wet spaghetti.
Oh my god. So, I make a poopy says, I'm making the spaghetti.
Alright, this looks like it's going to be an 18-minute level 21 DK. And with that bottom fort already down, I would like to see them go bottom, but it looks like DK is going to call YOLO and run it down mid here. Tyke is chewing away the towers. Gazlo turrets can eat tower shots, so actually going to save a lot of front damage off this DK.
Hey there, I'm surprised they're not marching right down the bot. Instead, they're just going to finish out the final outer structure of Sack of Bricks, and now make their way down to the bottom lane, where they have a catapult already waiting. They're going to try to rip through the remainder of this wall and get the first keep of the game down, but there's a Lightning Breath in response, and this is upgraded Lightning Breath, so a lot of extra time here from Diablo, but he's up against this big red button now from Blink Eclipse, or wait, no, he has System Attacks, right? So, not big red button, they get the kill anyway. Diablo down, so a full cooldown, didn't have souls, could be a double on Sonya. Mega Milk, Titan back will survive, but what won't survive is this keep. It's down. The DK also will be popped out. But Azmo Carry, maybe if they had another kill, would be able to win this map there, but instead, don't find the kill. They're going to back out. And that's all they're going to get. A keep and a kill, but no win quite yet, B-Train.
You said it earlier, Cinder Ghosty gets a lot of value on this map, and we saw it right there as Arthas called KFC and ordered the frozen chicken special, as we still see a 5-man gank party in this bot lane after picking up the Giants. No CC to lock down the Sonya, but she is losing a tremendous amount of HP after Brightwing gets the Critterize on the Polymorph. Tyke is just shredding these tanks now with 207 stacks on in the rhythm, and Sizzlin', that's going to be a bad day for the tanks. Showstopper is going to have to get out of dodge mid lane, pop that Robo Goblin, so no armor for the foreseeable next 55 seconds.
Rag, I see you in chat. Murder jokes, not like this. Come on, man. Come on. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of bad. It was kind of bad. Level 22 for both these squads, but map control right now is the story, and Azmo Carry is the ones with that advantage, and they're getting all across this map, picking up all the camps they can. Bruiser Camp Bot, Siege Camp Bot. They're also going to get Bruiser Camp Top, but they want to defend what they have in this bottom lane right now. They have the Catapult here,
Prepare yourselves,
Siege
heroes.
Giants,
The shrines
they
will
got the
soon be
Bruiser
mine.
Knights. Maybe they're not going to defend it. Okay.
I was going to comment and say absolute stupendous and tremendous job timing up those camps so that you have the Siege Giants and the Spell Armor. But with 2 members top as Brightwing burned the Fly to get that top camp with Gazlo, they weren't able to push with it, and that's a camp we see in the game a lot. As they are invading the camp, and we look like we might see a 5-on fight. No. Yeah, they are. Arthur's going to land the 3-man root. They're going to kill the Hyperion. This is the Gazlo bomb. He's going to stun 2. Crushing Jaws is going to come in, and I make a poop. He's going to drop the Cinder Ghost. They're going to get the flip onto A-Dubs. Is the Diablo, but without any souls. Tychus is going to shred through him like he's made of a wet paper bag. They are going to kill on Sonya. And the triple spear, the double coming through from A-Dubs on the Imperius, showing him a lot of expertise on that hero, making up words on the fly because this fight is insane. Gazlo getting a little bit of grenade damage at that wall, and ultimately they're going to trade both tanks out for just a couple of ultimates in favor of Azmo Carry.
I loved Raynor throwing out the Hyperion. It had value in the fight. It was hitting heroes the whole time. But what happened? Orthia missing the Crushing Jaws. We're not able to complete any of the kills, and yeah, spot on. Tychus just ripping through health bars the entire map. Diablo can't stay alive at this point. Not much he can do, so DK number 3 here, the second picked up, and potentially the final phase here on Dragonshire. Marching towards core is Azmo Carry.
And I'm looking at this right now with both your tanks about to come up. You are going to have the 5v5, and it is Arthas in that DK. So a lot of the anti-engage that Azmo Carry has is locked up in the DK. But at this point in the game, you have to 100% focus it. But I think Azmo Carry has so much sieges. We're going to see the Crushing Jaws is going to come through, and it's going to hit Gazzo on. He's going to pop that armor as Diablo is just going to pop that in unending lightning breath. But Sonya is going to fall. Jimmy is going to come out, and Stimmy nuking through the DK. But Tyke is literally full HP as Sean is running away with 50. Diablo goes into the backline. Brightwing's going to hit the juke button, looking like Antonio Brown out here. Diablo getting left in his dust, and game 1 is over on only 3 DKs. Great job from Azmo Carry.
Outstanding. What a job. Azmo Carry finding some kills there at the end too. They were down, I think, at one point 8-1. And then look at the final score, 8-14. A complete flip around. Azmo Carry with the comeback post 16. Great work by them. I want to flip over as well. Wait, I should probably switch my scene so you can see me. The match summary screen. But yeah, let me switch over as well these talents before we take our break. But B-Train, anything that really stands out? I know you talked a lot about the Gazlo talents and him being a workhorse throughout this, but Sindragosa value at level 22 with absolute 0 stands out for me.
Oh, 100%. And I look at the side and I see that Tychus, 78k damage. Tychus was absolutely shredding tanks. But, not too shabby damage from the Gazlo as well. And I know we spoke a lot about it during the match because he's such just an unorthodox pick. And you were wondering, where's your damage going to be? And we looked at Tychus and we're like, there's the damage. But not that big of a difference between Gazlo and Tychus statistically.
All right, guys. So we're going to take a short break before we head into map number 2. Hang tight tonight because we do have a doubleheader. I'm going to pick up where we should have been earlier this evening at 9 o'clock. We're going to do a replay cast of that PFM Luxorian Sun match after the conclusion of this set here. So hang tight. We're going to take a short break and be back for game number 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here getting ready for map number 2. We're in our lobby. I think everyone's actually ready. I'm gonna throw an R out. But we're gonna be going to Battlefield of Eternity. Appears to be the map selection of Sack of Bricks, our losers from map number 1 over on Dragonshire. But I gotta say, I feel like they had plenty of opportunity to win that game. Post 16 didn't work out that way at the end. So, what do you just take it as? This is a better late game team for Azmo carry, or did Sack of Bricks just fall apart? What happened there, V-Train?
I think ultimately that the questing talents is probably what I think put it in Azmo carry's favor, as a lot of their heroes power up over time. Arthas kind of winds up slowly. Tychus, same thing. Gazlo, same thing. He kind of comes online at 10, if you can say Gazlo comes online at all. But they played the early game really well, and then they capitalized on mistakes. And I think it just came down to a couple of rotations. But like you said a couple of times, they were extremely annoying. You know, taking a fight here while someone else sneaks over and takes a point at one place, or they, had a couple Gazlo pokes to stall out middle. So I think their annoying style just allowed them to wait for the right time to strike and capitalize on a mistake from Sack of Bricks. Yeah,
no, you're spot on. Definitely scaling to Tychus. I think his minigun went on for like 45 seconds. So yeah, really good work. Battlefield of Eternity, a completely different map though. This one very teamfight focused in the jungle, less focused on macro pressure than we saw over on Dragonshire. However, this objective can be far more punishing to the team that loses it. And I'd imagine we don't have a game going to level 23 again. So any hero specifically we saw in game number 1 that you think might translate well over here to Battlefield of Eternity?
I think specifically probably just the pick of either Diablo, Imperius, and Raynor. Like you said, a lot more onus on team fighting on this map. Last game they were doing lots of rotating and gyrating and making waves everywhere, like a cat chasing a laser on a waterbed. They were all over the place. But on this map, you can't really do that. You can go top lane or bot lane, but that rotation span is pretty long, and if you see somebody missing from a lane, you'll have plenty of time to figure it out before they appear in another one.
Who the hell is this guy V-Train, man? Stop! Stop! You're cracking me up all night, man. I love it. I'm stoked.
To do what I have to do.
I'm stoked on the Genji ban again. I'm fine with it. I think a little bit better on this map even. A Noob we didn't see a noob touch during the first draft, ban or pick. Will appear here as a ban. I like that because we talked about, I started talking about how there's a lot more team fight aspect here on this map, and I think a noob right now, as far as a tank goes, one of the better options right now in this meta for the team fight that cocoons so much value.
The Diablo ban coming out too. They don't want to give it up as a first pick, but touching on the Anubarak ban. Now, back in the day, Anubarak was banned for very specific purposes, and in the wise words of Team Rocket, prepare for trouble and make it double.
Oh
Cho'Gall was one of those bans. Anubarak, one of the big counters, excuse me. So we could see a little bit of shenaniganry out from Azmo carry, but they are going to go with a more standard pick in Imperius in their first rotation.
Okay, yeah, Showstopper gonna get on this Imperius this time. Was that our Imperius player in game 1? Yeah, it was. Okay.
No, I believe Showstopper played the Gazlo.
Wait, yeah, no, you're right. That's what I thought. I was like, wait, this isn't right. Was it A-Dubs?
A-Dubs was on the Imperius.
So
with every death comes honor.
Okay, so that's right. Yeah, A-Dubs was the Imperius game 1. Other side though, Stixa getting on a hero he loves to play on a map that, he's pretty darn good at. Slight nerfs, but Hanzo could be really good here on Battlefield of Eternity.
Lots of people looked at those PvE nerfs that he got. Instead of your auto attacks in general reducing scatter arrow cooldown, now it's only when you hit heroes. So his PvE build was technically nerfed, but Hanzo as a hero, his team fight for the scatter build was buffed. And on a map like this where there are more angles than a math class, Hanzo is going to absolutely feast on these small choke points when he gets the scatter arrow online.
Yeah, Cassia in response, Blank Eclipse gonna try to shut down Hanzo auto attacks, if that indeed is what's going on. Tyrande the support for Azmo carry. We're here sitting at our final ban phase. Butcher. Butch. The Boosh. Is Recyclic here right now? Oh, Rex not here. If you were, you know, inside joke, we love the Butcher over on the Regen Discord. We'll be banned out here, though. I'm wondering maybe that's just an homage to Murda. Here's a Butcher ban for you, baby. But, is maybe something else? Does this team have a pocket strat with a Butcher? I don't know.
So, I mean, okay, on the side of Sack of Bricks, they did pick Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis' quote when you pick that hero was, "I must feed." And I think if my tank's trying to feed, I want to ban Butcher because that's a lot of meat. No, but in all seriousness, you ban Butcher if you're going to have something squishy or if you're afraid that someone plays it. Typically, you know, in my last cast, a couple people who may have watched it, there was a Vikings pick and instantly a Butcher was snap locked because, you know, easy stacking. So I want to see if they have any, like, super squishy picks.
Well, I dare you to pick a Vikings into Leeming. Shancy B gonna pick up a different mage in this one. Was Orphea game 1. Game 2 gonna switch over to Leeming. Ana, the support choice for Malorum, or Malaram, sorry. Played the Morales game 1, and I was commending Morales so much, being able to kind of stand up and be more aggressive on a hero that usually has to play more defensive. We'll see how Ana does. I think a bit more work can be done with this hero. Just the engagement with the sleep setups from both Mal'Ganis and Ana now could be really good for some of these big orbs coming out of Shancy B and the Leeming.
I'm really disappointed in Azmo carry. They rounded out their draft with a couple of meta picks, and that really kind of, you know, makes me sad inside. But nonetheless, Tyrande, you know, touch on the support pick, is a phenomenal pick on this map. As even before she was reworked into what she is now, she was still a pickable hero here. Raynor, one of those heroes we said would carry over from the game 1 draft. Muradin, always good, and we're gonna see a very dangerous combo with the nano boost on the Li Ming, and Yrel being the last pick in this draft is also kind of a surprise to me.
What the biggest surprise to me is we only have 2 heroes making a reappearance from map number 1, and both those heroes, actually, excuse me, one of those heroes is actually switching sides. So a lot of new stuff to look at here, new stuff to talk about, and probably far less opportunity for that sort of late game scaling we saw happen in game 1 in favor of Azmo carry. Maybe a bit more opportunity on the other side this time, having the Hanzo for the scaling. Chat, we're here again. We've seen the drafts. You guys voted for Sack of Bricks in game number 1. 1 vote. But game number 2's here. You've seen the drafts. Vote again. Hashtag SOB or hashtag Azmo. Let B-Train and I know who you think's going to win here on Battlefield of Eternity.
And if I have to give my personal vote onto this draft, I'm going to look at this and say, there's no way in heck I will ever vote against a Li Ming and Hanzo on Battlefield of Eternity.
Pretty good point. So let's talk about these teams. Left-hand side in the blue, Andrade on Mal'Ganis, sweet skin there. Stixa playing the Hanzo, Shancy B on the Leeming, Malaram playing the Ana, and up top in the soul lane, Mega Milk's gonna be our Yrel player. They are Sack of Bricks.
And on the right side, starting in the top lane, we have Showstopper ready to stop, drop, and spear on Imperius. Decon on the Muradin, looking to give some people some hammers. Poopy's on the Raynor. A-Dubs on Soul Sister Tyrande. And Blank Eclipse ready to blind some fools on Cassia.
Did you just say Imperius?
Imperius, baby.
Oh my god, I love it. I might have to steal that. I hate you again. God. Chat, thank you, Red, coming in with the sub, the resub, 2 months. Thank you so much, Red. Again, big apologies for missing the PFM match tonight. I am committed to casting it this evening, so call in the rest of PFM. I don't know if you guys won or lost. We don't know the results, but we're going to check it out after the conclusion of this set, which could, of course, end here after Battlefield of Eternity. Right now, 1-0 in favor of Azmo carry, looking to get the domination and make that 2 weeks in a row where they've dominated their opponents.
looking at talents, as Li Ming is going to hit the huge flank orb, and Andre's going to take a lot of front damage here. Going to get healed up by Ana. The two that I'm most surprised to see are the Sleep Dart build from Ana, which usually lately, I'm not a support player, but correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the supports I see go into that full grenade build, and it just provides such tremendous healing in team fights. But on the right side, we're looking at Veteran Marksman from Raynor, an interesting stacking quest that only applies to every 4th auto, and it's not really going to be made up for in value that Exterminator or Ace in the Hole would bring unless you get to that tremendous late game.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If you want to look down at chat and have a peek at these votes that came in, a different story this time. Game 1, it was teams voting for Sack of Bricks, but right now I'm reading chat. We got 3 votes for Azmo carry to win Battlefield of Eternity. Chat seems to think they're going to close it out here, B-Train. Can you disagree? Almost trying to disagree there with Sack of Bricks, looking for a kill onto Murden, but Dwarf Toss too strong.
Yeah, Decon getting read a nighttime story over and over again. He gets put to sleep twice and continues to eat the orb damage from Li Ming. And if orb build was viable, I think this game it would get a lot of value, as so far as
I loved Shanty B game 1 on Orphea. It did a lot of damage. There was the one fight I mentioned, missing Crushing Jaws, which I'm sure Shanty B wants a second chance at. But the play was good. The damage was consistent with the Orphea. I'm excited to see how Shanty B is going to be able to do with this Li Ming. But Li Ming, she's a hero that has a lot more potential in fights, in my opinion, to really give your team the edge in getting the multi-kills, obviously. But on a map like Battlefield of Eternity, when you want to play at range at times, especially poking out these Immortals, I think the Li Ming's just going to have way more value than something like on the other side the Raynor's going to get. Especially the Raynor going Veteran Marksman, not going Exterminator or Ace in the Hole. I just think the burn favor, it has to go over the Sack of Bricks.
Yeah, I think pre-7 that the Azmo carry team can still keep up with the damage, but post-7, I think the race 100% goes over to Sack of Bricks.
You know what? I didn't calculate in the Hunter's mark. Completely forgot about this Piranha, so they will get that halftime lead. But you see right here, they're just going to leave Stixa back on the Immortal. The rest of Sack of Bricks looking for kills and interrupts to slow down what's going on here by Azmo carry. They're not finding kills, but they are finding a lot of disruption as they have a lead, just leaving Hanzo to do the burn. I don't know if they're going to be able to come back in here, or Azmo carry. You see right now, Imperious in trouble, getting slept. Does Li Ming have anything to kill Showstopper? No, missing those missiles. The magic missiles miss, so Imperious survives, but they end up getting the Immortal, and that's what they really want to be trained.
Yeah, and before, we comment on the fact that that was a 4v5 stall, Mal'Ganis playing his best Deckard Cain impersonation with a single cast of that, whatever flying nap time ability is. He put 5 people to bed, and they held that 4v5 while Hanzo continued to race and make space. But right now, this Immortal, losing a bit of its shield, is still clamoring away at this top wall.
Yeah, the first attack on one of these structures, obviously with this Immortal, will be in favor of Sack of Bricks. Andrade looking for the sleep in the front line, but Dwarf Toss once again from Murden, enough to get Decon out. Player who, in Game 1, was our Brightwing player. Game 2, switching over to Tank, playing Murden. So this roster not afraid to switch it up, and so far Murden's looked pretty strong, I think.
Yeah, looking great, and it's really hard to target ban a support player whose backup support is Muradin. So, always interesting. We do see the 3-man rotation down onto Showstopper. Yrel going to go in with the hammer. Ana is going to miss the sleep dart. That is on CZ. Mal'Ganis getting the huge knock-up stun. Li Ming comes in for the Calamity pickup as Ana, Malaram with the kill steal, taking out Imperious.
Yeah, that was just a great combination of CC here in the bottom lane by Sack of Bricks. They just perfect engaged by Andrade, and then Mega Milk sinking in at the same time, leaping in, and then macing back with Yrel, keeping Imperious really far away from safety and getting that first blood of the game. I'm really surprised we went that long because we were so close to seeing a kill earlier on Imperious, but we made it almost 6 minutes in without a kill. Similar to Game 1, we didn't have a lot of kills there, but again, up top, Another attempt on a gank. Blank Eclipse will fall here on Cassia. Almost getting the kill with the fend onto Hanzo. But Stixa does end up surviving. 2-0 now in favor of Sack of Bricks, as we're almost approaching objective phase 2.
And for all my non-solo lane players, if you do have to pick up that lane, notice your distance to safety is Cassia didn't have a wall and didn't have vision in the vent. So you always have to be aware of your distance to safety, your distance to being able to get to a tower that will protect you and love you forever.
Econ trying to find Li Ming, doesn't. Teleport's good from Shancy B. 8 seconds for the next Immortal phase. Full strength for both these squads. We're looking at XP bars though. Almost a full level lead right now for Sack of Bricks as they approach level 10. They're going to get a crack at this Immortal on their own side. Both teams split, trying to burn towards halftime. Not a lot of defense from either squad, although Andrade on this Mal'Ganis and Urel, played by Megamilk, are going to try to get some interrupting. It's going to end up being a just big favor by Sack of Bricks. They're ahead by about 25% heading in past halftime. Fight breaking out here. Decon low on Muradin, but he's been able to get out of a lot of these fights. We see it turn right around to Mal'Ganis. He's down. Showstopper going to be turned on the other side. Reset for Li Ming, but not going to find a second kill to Shancy B. Instead, the second kill is going to go over to Azmo Carry. They finish off Hanzo, and with Stixa out of this, now the race is looking like it's going to go over to Azmo Carry.
Yeah, Mal'Ganis was in super deep, brought Raynor a steak for dinner, and Raynor said it didn't have enough pepper, so he gave him some more on his way back to the kitchen. As Muradin burned that jump early, got super deep in the fight, and had no way out, but ultimately able to survive with the heals from Tyrande, and they did, I think, only trade, no, they traded 2-for-1 in favor of Azmo Carry.
Yeah, definitely, and, you know, look at this, the XP lead has been shut down, although we do have a fight. Blank Eclipse in trouble, Orbs hit, but 80 health. Cassie is still surviving, finally down, Imperia is still here, and that's going to be successful defense now on their Immortal in favor of Sack of Bricks. Still looking for more. Orb missing. There's the Dragon's Arrow. Level 10s are locked in for Sack of Bricks. Still not finding Muradin. Finally do. Down bottom, Imperius in trouble. Leaving, trying to finish it. And Calamity on top from Shancy B. It's a triple kill for Sack of Bricks and should be their second Immortal of the game, B-Train.
Yeah, that level 10 made all the difference as Cassia got blown up almost in one shot. Somehow survived an inexplicable amount of time, but surely once that domino fell, Hanzo ripping that Dragon's Arrow. And one of the key things to watch out for in this game is the positioning of Styx on Hanzo. Is usually when a Hanzo starts backing up from a team fight while the rest of his team steps forward, he's looking to line up that long-range Dragon's Arrow to get the maximum value off the stun and the damage. So that's going to be something to watch out for.
Really great efforts by the full squad there. The front line, Mal'Ganis, Urel, really doing a good job setting up for Hanzo, setting up for the Li Ming. Shancy B finally getting some action, some kills there in that last fight. Now setting that total to a grand total of 1 for our Li Ming. So expecting more out of Shancy B. We'll see if that can continue. But with this second Immortal pushing, they're looking at getting the first structure of the game down. Still, the health bar is there, the shielding's down. Trying to find a kill on Imperius. Here's the damage from Li Ming, finally. Hanzo comboing in as well. Fort's down, first kill there as well. Here's the ult coming out from Mal'Ganis, trying to stun in front of the wall. Not enough. The Dragon's Arrow couldn't keep them all there. They're going to get behind the wall, back to safety, and should have enough to clear up this Immortal.
Muradin obtaining maximum Skullcracker value. Imperius has holed up. Speaking of orbs, Blank Eclipse getting out with the 87 HP as the Ming and the Hanzo give the damage from different area codes onto Cassia. But like I was saying, Mal'Ganis got the huge stun after the arrow from Hanzo and then went to go into that sleep, and Muradin's last auto hit that magical Skullcracker and potentially saved what could have been another kill, which could have led to way more value from that Immortal push.
Camp going to be grabbed down bot right now by Sack of Bricks. We're also going to get Muradin revealed a connection on that Sonic Arrow from Stixa. But here comes Muradin in his face. Should have natural agility to escape over this wall. But yeah, that Skullcracker is almost keeping him there. A lot of value for Muradin so far with that talent. Still jumping back in is Muradin. Hanzo in trouble. You need to get out of here, Stixa. He will kite back, survives, and Yeah, not too much other than that. Bottom, we do have the Kazucam pushing, but it's got a long way to go and a Rainer between it. That should be cleared up by Azmo carry.
Phenomenal awareness on sticks in the Hanzo. Waiting for that Skullcracker proc before attempting to use the natural agility. Good awareness, maybe, you know, looked at the talent and saw it and was like, all right, I'm going to wait for this stun before I jump. So really good patience and really good trust in your own mechanical abilities.
Yeah, I'm noticing so many abilities just barely missing here from Li Ming. You know, we talked about the magic missiles before that almost had a kill on Imperius. A few other spots where I think maybe could have had a few multi-kills. Watch Shancy B in this fight right now, because this is where I want to see Li Ming start breaking loose. Up in the air though, Imperius lifting up Hanzo will pay with his own life when he drops down. Carrying form on 3 from Mal'Ganis, and a great Dragon's Arrow going to lock in Blank Eclipse and A-dubs. There's going to be a Starfall to try to push back the members of Sacker Bricks that were pushing in after that double kill. Will keep the rest of their lives, but with 2 down, this is going to be an objective push now by Li Ming. Hanzo making his way down, and Sacker Bricks looking like they might get their 3rd objective in a row, defense.
Yeah, the Imperius ult was definitely one that surprised me. Maybe looking to get the isolation on to the nano boost target, almost acting like a Gorge or a Cocoon. But hitting Hanzo instead of the Li Ming, after Nano went out onto Li Ming, she was able to just throw orbs from every which direction, hitting them from yonkers away, getting absolute insane value after that reset came in. And then Hanzo, yet again, looking like Steph Curry with that arrow coming all the way from across the bay, hitting 2 members again, causing the entire just, you know, snowball of that fight. As Mal'Ganis is going to go in super deep, going to get hit by the Cassia Fen. She did go into that, that charged strike skill, looking to get a lot of damage out. The nano boost is going to come out onto your rail, giving her the low CC or low CD abilities. As Imperius is going to go in and get the spear. Showstopper stealing the show. Li Ming orbs are not enough to end this fight. No Calamity resets as Rainer's going to take that tower shot, allows them to get out of dodge. As they turn this around, their Immortal only has about 2,800 HP left, and with a Hanzo and a Li Ming, I don't know if they can still even defend this.
Early kill in that fight. Mal'Ganis, without his carrying form, without his survivability tool, falls early in the fight, costs his team that double kill, but still alive right now, Li Ming and Hanzo, and you see them coming from 2 separate angles, trying to get the remaining health bar off this Immortal, and orb connecting there. Yrel playing defense with Shancy B up top, and I love these angles. Look at Stixon now walking in, finding the cube, connecting just one more anything should get the remainder of this health bar, and just a really good job of staying with it after losing some fights. They're gonna lose the Hanzo, but they end up at the end of the day getting this Immortal. Pretty important for them. Losing the Hanzo sucks, but they might be able to actually turn this around and get a kill themselves. No, Ball Lightning in response to Mal'Ganis. As quick as he's up, he's right back to base, dead again.
That was a great turnaround. They end up getting a couple kills to maybe negate a lot of the push from this Punisher, but because of the XP changes, there are 2 catapults from that fort destruction earlier that are pushing the bot lane. They've already taken out the fountain, and Murden going down to clear these now, and the other 4 members are going to defend the top lane against, so far, just Li Ming, Yrel, and Ana.
Yeah, the unfortunate consequence of losing your Hanzo, and then subsequently that Mal'Ganis, is that you just can't push in with that objective. So they don't get a keep down. We're now 15 minutes in. Level 16s have been achieved for Sack of Bricks. Still waiting on level 16s for Azmo carry. This advantage isn't going to do too much. They're not taking a fight right now. The 16s are going to be here in just about 10 or 15 seconds for Azmo carry. So the next fight we see, it's going to be uneven talents. And throughout this map, there hasn't been a team that's been a clear leader in any of the fights. It's been pretty back and forth. So whoever can win one of these next ones probably are going to set themselves up for a lot of success heading into this late game.
Yeah, as we're going to see the Hanzo arrow. The Hanzo arrow is going to hit 2 members as top is, the Rainer is split down to bottom. Imperius is on the back line. He's going to get the kidnap onto the Hanzo, who is about a third of their health left. As Imperius Showstopper way too deep after the rest of his team gets out of dodge. A couple ults burned there, ultimately fighting 5v4 over that camp. And I was going to attempt to point out a couple talent picks interesting from the Muradin here. electing to go into Thunder Strike at level 13. 300% damage per single target hit from that Thunderclap. So not going into healing static, a lot less tankiness we're going to see from that Muradin.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's strictly for Immortal Burn. With the Muradin, does a lot of extra PvE damage. But also, if they can isolate a target, something like a Mal'Ganis who's been playing so far out up front, of course, having this backline Li Ming, backline Hanzo, backline Ana, it's a lot of isolated frontline targets that Muradin can get value off with that Thunderclap. So maybe makes sense here, especially on Battlefield of Eternity, but the race so strong right now for Saka Bricks. They're going to push halftime in no time, and full health on their own Immortal. The defense is going to have to come out right now from Azmo. Here, looking to fight the Spear's here from Imperius. Hanzo in trouble, throws out his Dragon's Arrow, but Styx is still kiting back. Imperius in his face, gets a healing dart from Ana and survives. Flipping around the other side, the Rainer's down, so leaving opportunity now for some resets. Gonna get another one there. Cassia's dead. 2 for nothing in favor of Saka Bricks, and this is a team that was already ahead 50% in this race. Now have opportunity to get this 4th objective for them, and finally find themselves a keep.
Yeah, Li Ming getting more resets than a cable TV modem resetter in all of these fights. The value we've seen here, just toppling these, getting the turnaround. Rainer has to burn that escape early and still able to make it out alive. As everybody chases into this hallway, Li Ming turns around, throwing these orbs. And, if you look into that crystal ball, the only future for you is death, my friend. As with this 19-17 advantage, we have a full shield Immortal pushing top lane. Muradin actually over the wall, gonna get hit by a huge knockup combo as Andrade on the Mal'Ganis is gonna put people to sleep. And oh my sweet Jesus, that scatter arrow absolutely putting Imperius under the grave. And Decon is going to be able to get out here with about 900 health. It's the Dragon Arrow from downtown. He's murdered with 100 HP. Blanket Clip's going in super far. Going to get the Thunderstroke reset onto the Li Ming. Ultimately going to get Lightning Bolt off before he falls. And while they're still trying to defend this bottom fort, losing a good bit of their ranged DPS with the Cassia, the Scatter Arrow sending Poopy to half health, forcing him to burn that HP regen. They look like they're going to lose this keep as well as top keep. A defense going is worst case scenario. Muradin jumping forward, getting the stun on Andrade as the damage is going to come through from the Rainer. And Scatter Arrow still doing so much work.
Yeah, but that's 2 keeps down and Immortal with a shield still on. So probably going to get a little bit of core damage here. Shouldn't finish the game as there is a defense currently standing in front of this core and no offense. So will go down so far past 60%. See if it maybe drops below 50%. Yes, it will. But this core will survive. 33% is the final tally there. And overall, end of the objective, 2 keeps and 67% done on the core. That's successful for Saka Bricks.
Yeah, Saka Bricks could have potentially forced that at the end of the game, but showing great reserve and patience as a team, really trusting in their ability to just continue playing, slow ball. Now that they have both keeps down, you can pretty much kick it like Jimmy Buffett, put your feet up, have a couple mojitos, and wait for catapults to end this game.
Oh, baby. Margaritaville up next. Styx running up top of this team. They're trying to check out this Khazra camp, but Tyrande also checking it out. They have full vision out there here, but not going to be much that Azmo Carry can do. They have catapults pushing deep into their lanes. They can't push out and deal with it, and so around this map and the pressure that's going to come, just so much right now from Saka Bricks, and they're not afraid of this map. Level 20s as well, and I haven't put those talents on your screen yet. Let me show them to you now. It is going to be play of the game from Hanzo, so Styxa, who's been so strong hitting on these arrows, hasn't been able to have all the follow-up he wants. So I'm wondering now if that's just the final piece of the puzzle. Hanzo's just going to be there to finish off the leaping away Muradin or whatever it might be. Might be the last fight here. B-Train, bring us home, my dude.
Well, Archon Pure Power coming out already from Sean on the Li Ming. Nothing screams to me poke and just damage, just raw damage like that Archon does. And you see Tyrande committing the stun to it as they're slowly pushing him with this Khazra camp. I don't think they have to force this fight here, as I think they win any Immortal race, and if they even just defend one, Catapults will win the game for them. But they're stepping up slow as ever. Both teams have level 20, and we're going to see the healing lightning balls. They are going to commit to the fight, as Decon is going to go in. Mal'Ganis is forced to burn the Carrion Swarm early, getting out lots of healing and damage, but ultimately each tank in the backline for each team, Imperius is going to kidnap the Ana. I don't know if Nanopuss has been used yet. It has. Hanzo still has played the game. Imperius is falling in the backline. Scatter Arrow doing so much damage, but Erden is going to get out, playing the game committed. Not going to do enough damage. Blake clipped, and Jimmy getting so much work done in the backline as Poopy is pooping on these frontline heroes from Sack of Bricks. A-Dub stepping out a little bit too far as Scatter Arrow could spell sure death, but Archon Pure Power sitting outside of core range with 3 catapults and an Impaler Camp, slowly draining this shield. Decon stepping up, getting the stun, but the cleanse removal so good from Ana, as Styx is going to secure the kill on Muradin, as Archon showing how much power it truly has. The core below 10%, and this is GG Game 2 from Sack of Bricks.
Oh my god, that final set, knowing they have this Archon, knowing they have a hero like Hanzo as well, who thrives in those really rangy fights like that, they just walk in the base, don't give a damn, and just take the fight right in their face, using that range to their advantage, find the kill, and ultimately just throw Li-Ming on the core with that Archon. Game number 2, Sack of Bricks. And, you know, we've been here now for about an hour, and 2 games in the books. I don't know which team is the better team here tonight. Game 3 is going to have to decide it for us, B-Train.
Oh, absolutely. I think we've gotten a little bit of taste that, you know, Azmo carry wants to run circles around you, be annoying, be that little nitpicking, you know, gnat, and wait for the chink in your armor, at which they could capitalize so well on. But when they were forced into, you know, these straight head-on fights against this Li-Ming Hanzo combo, they couldn't quite get it done. And so I want to see if they elect to take map pick, as I believe map pick has been victor for both games so far.
All right, ladies and gents, we're going to find out who has that map decision ahead of them during our break. We're going to take about 3 minutes, and we're going to be right back for the conclusion of this set between Sack of Bricks and Azmo Carry. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Sack of Bricks and Azmo Carry are heading into game number 3. We're here in the lobby. The players are all ready. Got B-Train still with me. B-Train, how's it going?
Ooh, I'm ready. I'm fired up. And the only thing spicier than this game was the tacos I ate earlier.
Oh my god. But two different maps, two completely different stories. Game 1, Azmo Carry, late game comeback. Game 2, it was Sack of Bricks ahead the entire time. Maybe Sack of Bricks is starting to slowly emerge as the better of the two teams, as they've probably held the advantage for more, we'll call it more time of possession throughout this set. But if they lose late game like they did in game number 1, Azmo Carry has plenty of potential to win this map number 3 here.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with what you said, and I think that Azmo Carry, you know, in game 1 they showed actually a great job, like controlling rotations, keeping it weird, keeping it awkward, and I think playing with that weird factor really kind of threw a curveball at Sack of Bricks, who last game looked like a sack of cinder blocks, just absolutely bowling them over. So I think with this map in particular, you kind of have the best of both worlds. It is an extremely late game map in some occasions where throws are extremely high in likeliness, as if you lose a team fight, the whole map goes from one color to another.
Spot on. So we've seen Genji banned twice already in this first slot by Sack of Bricks. On the other side, Azmo Carry been banning out the Azmo. Those are the only two bans we've seen consistent tonight. So do we continue to see the Genji right now? Do we see the Azmo on the other side? Yes, we're going to see the Genji. Still a question mark for this Azmo.
I think this was a mutual agreement between both teams before the game, saying, hey, we hate that Blizzard added a third ban, so we're just going to go ahead and waste the first two on Azmo and Genji. But actually, Diablo gets first ban for Azmo Carry. Azmo has the potential to carry this game.
That was their first ban on the Diablo. They had to face Diablo game number 1, and I thought it was really well played. Wasn't that Andrade playing the Diablo game 1? So finally deciding don't want to face it here on Towers of Doom, about a value map, I think, for Diablo 2. A lot of tight choke points, especially around some of those altars. So Diablo not going to be an option. Stitches not going to be an option. No hooks here. That's the second ban on Stitches from Sack of Bricks tonight. And now we're sitting here looking at the second ban from Azmo Carry. Is it Azmodan?
The Stitches ban is interesting to me. Is in game 1 when we saw it, I had the same like instant mental thing. Is I thought of Mephisto, and Li Ming is going to be banned. Obviously, last game we saw that Li Ming do just mega value work. But like I was saying, Mephisto, Stitches is kind of a weird soft counter, as the Lord of Sin is here, ladies and gentlemen. Azmo Carry facing their alma mater, Azmodan, in this game. And with Azmodan locked up, I think the Mephisto pick seems a little less likely, as you'd be going hard into that double-ranged setup.
Yeah, Azmodan banned twice, finally gets through, gets picked immediately. Now, Orpheus Stukov in response on the other side. Haven't seen either of these heroes played by Azmo Carry tonight. You know, I mentioned during the draft game 2, we saw a lot of heroes come in that we didn't see in game 1. 8 different heroes in game 2. So far, 3 heroes that we haven't seen played by these squads either. I mean, the Orpheus was played game 1, but not by Azmo Carry. Finally, we're going to see Hanzo, a hero that we have seen played by Styx tonight. This is a lot of damage and a lot of scaling right now on a map that late game really matters, Towers of Doom. Sack of Bricks with this Azmodan Hanzo could be really strong in that endgame.
Yeah, and, you know, like you said, a couple heroes switching sides from these first couple games. As, you know, Azmo Carry, once Azmodan's gone, they pick up Coffin Hitler thinking, you know, she's going to be the hidden answer here. Maybe they have a different build or different setup, or they're looking to wombo.
It's Coffin Hitler, and it's Space Hitler. Do you think they heard me say that in game 1? They're like, we're double Hitler.
We got double Hitler. But yeah, and like you said, lots of damage from both sides. But when I look at all 5 of these heroes, you know what they have? Poke. stall potential. In this map with, you know, trying to take shrines, stall is a super valuable thing.
So if you guys missed game 1, our Hitler joke probably doesn't make sense. Shout out to Jason for bringing a few Raiders over earlier. Maybe you guys missed that joke. But we've been having fun here since about 10:30 Eastern when we kicked off. Now we're seeing a Varian and, you know, potential shenanigans Varian. Showstopper and I Make the Poopy still yet to pick. There's going to be Arthas from I Make the Poopy, and this is a hero game 1, which we really loved. That got a lot of value, especially at level 20, when they're able to get that upgrade on Sindragosa. But here on Towers of Doom, maybe not the same pick, maybe going into Ghouls and Goblins instead.
So I'm going to go ahead and point out right now, if this isn't Taunt Varian, I'm leaving the cast. As Stukov and Taunt Varian is an absolutely disgusting combination. If you take Taunt and you just rip it on somebody and you put that purple goop pool of quiet time underneath them, they're really in a tight spot. And what I want to see here is a little bit more burst damage. With the Tychus going down, they don't quite have any percent damage to deal with these heavy hit point heroes. But if they can secure a little bit more burst, you can blow up anyone with this combo.
I wonder if with this Leoric pick, with this Brightwing pick, maybe they're trying to lock it in Entomb, go with something like Demonic Invasion from Azmodan to get a lot of damage inside the Entomb. To pair with the Globes of Annihilation, I don't know. Leoric Brightwing, those final 2 picks, isn't enough for Sack of Bricks to carry them through past Azmo carry here in game number 3. Game 2, you guys switched your votes over to Azmo carry and they lost. Game 1, you picked Sack of Bricks and they lost. So I gotta ask you for the 3rd time to pick your winner, but I don't have a lot of faith in you right now, chat. Hashtag SOB or hashtag Azmo. Throw it in chat right now. Your votes make the difference. So let us know. I don't know. I actually really like both sides. I think the Varian, you're right, if it is Taunt and you get Guillotine from Zul'jin, some of that combo damage from Orphea, that is a kill. So what are your thoughts, B-Train?
Oh man, like I look at it and Guillotine fits, but the last thing I want to see from this Zul'jin player is the mage build. I want auto build. It does so well, it scales so hard, and it gives you damage where and when you want it. As the Guillotine, sure, you can get the burst from it, but you know, you just don't have that same kind of just single target destruction.
So over on the left-hand side, we got Stixa playing Hanzo, Mega Milk on Leoric, Chansey B going to be our Azmodan player, Andrade on Anubarak. And rounding it out, support all night long, Malaram, excuse me, on the Brightwing. They are Sack of Bricks.
And on the right side for Azmo carry in game 3, we got Decon on the Varian, 2 arms, 2 blades to victory. We got A-Dubs on Coffin Hitler. We have I Make the Poopy yet again on Arthas, Blank Eclipse on the Stukov, and Showstopper asking, "Do you want the axe?" Ready to give him the axe.
Yo, give him the axe. Looking down at chat, you guys are keeping your faith in Azmo carry. 3 votes for them, none in chat for Sack of Bricks. So chat, if your track record holds true, Sack of Bricks will be your game 3 winners, but we're gonna let it play out nonetheless and keep our eyes here on Towers of Doom, and maybe chat will be right for once here on game number 3.
All right, we got to talk about this. It's High King's quest for Varian. I'm already concerned about the possibility that we will get either 2 memes or 1 huge yelling meme. But as of right now, this build doesn't really cooperate with Taunt.
Yeah, High King's quest usually pointing towards Twin Blades. Could be Colossus Smash. Rarely is it going to be the Taunt, but I don't want to hold back chance that maybe he's just throwing us for a tailspin here. Keep an eye at level 4 when Decon finally gets his heroic talent. But right now we do have camps being taken. Right-hand side, Sappers already grabbed. Left-hand side, there they go for Sack of Bricks. Mid-fight breaking out here. Stixa, natural agility. He's going to live. But let's look at bottom lane because Sappers are clashing here, B-Train.
Yeah, bottom lane super important. I played a game on this map with my team a couple days ago, And we sat 3 people bottom for 22 minutes and just wore the game down. So you really want to put emphasis here as it's kind of worth trading. We're going to see Zueljin coming in with the flank, instantly getting polyed after popping that Amani, trying to lower his health for that AA speed. And looking at the Zueljin level 1 talent pick, we do have Headhunter, which to me indicates that you're going for that auto attack damage. But I have seen it a lot lately purely for the auto attack range.
Twin Blades just locked in by Varian will be both of the swords coming out right now for him. Is this an issue, B-Train? Do they suffer? Do they miss a lot of their lockdown now having this Twin Blades? Or is there something I don't see? Like, are they just trying to throw him at the Leoric, throw him at the Anubrag? I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out as well as the taunt would have.
So, taunt gives you a little bit better early game. But here's the thing. The main issue with Zueljin going AA build was if you pop Tazdingo, there's a polymorph. Unless Varian YOLOs into your backline and you have to burn poly early on the Windblades, because Windblades is a decent threat of a character.
Top's going to be interrupted by Arthas. Here comes Right Wing, phase shifting in to help keep this a contest at the top left. The rest of Sacabrix going up. Great stuns there. And Tail going to connect from Andrade and Nubarak. And Decon's down Varian. First blood of the game. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in. Polymorph is here. Showstopper still trying to run away with Zueljin. In chases Leoric, applying the slows. And see ya later. ZJ's down. A double kill. Now for Sacabrix, they get the double altars as well. A 4-shot core lead. And an early start here for Sacabrix on Towers of Doom.
So yeah, we see an interesting pickup from Stukov, opting into Biotic Armor at 4. And I look at that and I kind of have some questions. Getting 15 physical armor, doing well against auto attacks, which if you look at the side of Sacabrix, they don't have a lot of like highly auto attack oriented heroes, especially with Hanzo going into that Q build, doing a lot more spell damage. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that's right. And we do see Battleborn and Bombardment though from Azmo, which is a more auto attack focused Azmo build. Of course, it's gonna help get resets quickly on his Q. But it's going to mean Azmo is going to be a lot closer to the front line. And without too much opportunity on something like an Infernal Shrines where there's an objective that you want to kill and get some of that spread damage, Azmo is going to have to use it on heroes successfully. And with something like Stukov and, well, now we know it isn't Taunt, but pretty aggressive build to take in what could have been a Taunt variant, could have been this lockdown Arthas, but nonetheless, here we go, another fight mid, and it's Varian again taking a lot of damage, but Decon will be able to walk back, survives this, altar spawning in 3 seconds, and with Varian pushed back, it should be an advantage right now for Sacabrix.
Activate them. No.
Yeah, Orphea trying to get the cap bottom is going to get stalled by the Azmo dunk. And we want to go over. Zueljin did opt into Arcanite Axes at 7, going into that mage build. As we see the Anubrag get the Bro Charge in onto Blink Clips on Stukov, stepping up a little too far. He's going to get that Biotic Armor from his own passive activating that posture. Varian going to charge in. 2 arms, 2 blades to victory. Stukov with a big zoning silence, but Leoric is just doing work over here. So they are going to rotate the Arthas down, giving up control of that mid shrine. Hanzo looks like he is going to get the cap as they might trade 1 for 1. Oh, Hanzo is going to get interrupted. His flank clipped with the Stukov going in with the humongous Arnold Schwarzenegger arm, hitting that huge auto chunk as Varian is chasing down Styx that has 90 health, is going to get the kill. But Zueljin falls in the bottom to the 3-man of Sacabrix. 1 for 1, and they each take 1 shrine.
Okay, so just a completely even exchange over the course of that objective. I thought Hanzo, maybe if he had the scatter arrow build, could have turned around and killed Varian there. But nonetheless, that's Twin Blade Varian finding a kill on Hanzo in the first one of the game for Azmo carry. Full health close, only 4 points separating these two teams. Our bosses at this point active on the map. We're almost at level 10s for Sacabrix, but they're not there yet. They're hanging out here at mid. Maybe leaving themselves open to an engagement here. Yeah, it comes I make the poopy looking for it with Arthas, but gonna get polymorphed and shut down. Now Zueljin in trouble, getting stunned by a Nubrak. Andrade's gonna have to kite back because Azmodan not gonna be enough here with Brightwing to get any of these health bars down. But finally, level 10 here featuring, and we do see its demonic invasion from Azmo.
That makes me extremely sad, but I'm looking at Leoric and Hanzo here. We do have Dragon Arrow, but the memes have already been killed for me. But, you know, Dragon Strike and Tomb could have been a neat combo. It used to get played, but Variant actually falls top. 3-man rotation is going to secure that gank. I totally missed it. But we do see a small invade on this bottom camp. It looks like Azmo Carry is going to back off as they themselves are locking in ults. We do see Eternal Feast from the Orphea, the swipe from Stukov, Army of the Dead, a little bit of ghoul action from Arthas, Shield Wall for Varian looking to negate that burst, and Zul'jin still undecided. I highly expect Guillotine based on the given build.
The Guillotine, I think, should probably be the pick. I'm not sure about Eternal Feast. I think Crushing Jaws was the play up top. Can't get tapped on Azmo, and he's definitely going to fall here. No way Shancy B gets out of that, but looking around the map, we do have altars, and a Dragon's Arrow just came across the map on Showstopper from Hanzo, so he's interrupted, but after losing Azmo, I don't think they want to take this fight. They're just going to back off, and Zul'jin will get this channel. Another objective split, but maybe a turnaround now as Varian locked in and entombed. Scatter Arrow value if Hanzo can get anything off, but he's protected by himself, and he's going to get out of here with Shield Wall. Varian survives. I'm surprised they weren't able to lock that one in, B-Train.
Yeah, I thought it was a kill for sure. Zul'jin doing lots of damage, but without going that full single target focus build, wasn't able to drop the Leoric because we're still looking at 0 stacks on Headhunter, the level 1 of Zul'jin. And I think if you were going to commit to this full mage build, I would have liked to have seen Recklessness at level 1 for the spell damage at lower health.
Yeah, not finding the kills yet. And honestly, Brightwing can be a hero that's very hard to kill, so getting that Headhunter completed could be tough here for Showstopper. We'll see if they can turn around here, but we talked about scaling during the draft, and we're getting to that point where scaling is going to start to matter. We have the Q build completed. Target practice is done for Hanzo. We're at 132 stacks of Global Annihilation for Shancy B, so he's getting his way up there, a little bit behind schedule as the fight's breaking out down. Bottom line Warp is thrown out onto Orphea. A-Dub's now turning around on a Nubrak who threw out the Cocoon on Arthas to try to give himself enough room to get out, and he will. No kills either side, but Zul'jin still in chase. Showstopper not able to finish off Shancy B. Everyone survives as our altars are spawning. Just singular altar here on the bottom in 20 seconds.
Yeah. Lots of damage coming out from both sides. Azmodonger stacking up pretty decently with that AA build. The Cocoon was forced out onto the Arthas as he's really controlling a lot of the movements. Azmodan is super immobile hero, as is Brightwing, especially without Blink Heal.
Altar is active. Andrade trying to move past, but here's Eternal Feast. And a Nubrak standing inside, not interrupting the channel was Andrade, instead looking for the kills. And maybe that's all they want are just the kills. They're not getting the altar. They lose their Nubrak. Turn around here with this Entomb locking in 3. And this is bombardment time from Shancy B, as well as some scatter arrows from Hanzo. They're going to get 1 more, 2 more, maybe 3. Blanket clips on the wall and sticks up barely missing. Shancy B barely missing. Stukov surviving.
Wow. That, I honestly am super surprised. That Guillotine got absolute cash money value, like the first and 15. Did a huge number to the backline, but without enough damage to finish it through with Varian gone. Just the kills didn't trickle in as I would have thought, maybe if they had the 5-on-5, as that was a 4v5 fight. But they did end up getting the Shrine, so they are tied on the map score. Their camp is invaded, and Blank Eclipse eating arrows from Rambo Hanzo Sticks, putting in the work.
Missing another scatter arrow, though. Probably wants that one back. Sticks in my boy. Known him since back in the Cheer League days where he first cast a regen match. Kept in touch ever since, and can call him to this day one of my best friends. So I don't mind throwing a little shade at your Hanzo play right now, Stixa. Step it up. But here we go. Bottom lane action, and Sappers were just grabbed. Both sets of Sappers, actually, by Sack of Bricks. I don't think they're going to be able to escort this second set home. But we do have a triple altar phase coming soon, and a full level lead right now for Sack of Bricks. They're looking pretty solid here.
One thing worth mentioning is Zul'jin. Actually, Zul'jin is going to get engaged on. The cleanse is going to come out from his own ability at level 4. The Cocoon is going to come into the Arctis. His Dragon Arrow was burned, and Zul'jin is going to be at the wall, barely getting out. Brightwing Alexa dropped the wins here, not really getting any value. Demon Army committed to trying to kill this Arthas, as there are minions, monkeys, and monsters everywhere. Death Coil keeping Arthas alive. Showstopper barely getting out as the Impale getting value. The Beatles at the wall are allowing them to take shots, while Brightwing sneaky, breaky, cheeky in the back line, getting the cap on the altar, and Top is going to trade 1 for 1, so a 2 altar for 1 in favor of Saka Bricks.
Saka Bricks winning their second 2 for 1 in these triple altar phases. Of course, winning that first one as well, 2 to 1. Here's another fight up top. Entomb on Varian. Decon surviving, but not able to fully survive. I thought he might have been able to get out. Was stuck in the Entomb and almost made it the full duration. Just throwing out shield wall and just throwing out auto attacks. But finally, Varian falls. That's going to be Varian's 3rd time dead. Zul'jin also died 3 times here on Towers of Doom. And with 8 kills, level 16 is here for Saka Bricks, trying to make a move on this top Sapper camp. We got a fight breaking out. Dragon's Arrow down. Also burrowing forward is a Nubrak, and they're going to get a kill on Stukov. Also trying to finish off Zul'jin. He doesn't have Kazdingo. This is Guillotine. But Showstopper able to walk away. 175 health surviving. Still turning around onto Arthas. They get a double kill. A different hero than they thought. Whoa! Stixa didn't want to let Zul'jin go. Throws the B-steps as well. And Zul'jin finally falls. A flashy play from the former Heroic Division player. They're going to get a fort here, and that might be an exclamation point on this map to start really turning it around here for Saka Bricks.
Once more.
Yeah, Varian rotating the wrong direction. Going to burn the Protector early. Zanube's going to come with the body block. The Tube's going to come out in the Impale, and boom goes the Varian as 2 blades can't keep you from dying to a 5-man gang squad. Is Demon Army going to take these shots with the Anu Beatles, and it looks like they're going to run down yet another fort from Azmo carry, who doesn't exactly have the best siege to take their stuff back. So with a 6 bell tower lead now, they can get 6 shots off of this cap and push the number for the core health of Azmo carry down to 10.
Not let the grave
they're looking for that 10-shot lead right here. They're also moving down the bottom lane, where I make the Poopy the only one here in defense. No Syndra Ghosted this time, it's the Ghoul, so it's really tough for I make the Poopy to make anything happen in the defense department here. And walking immediately forward right on this is the 5-man of Saka Bricks, who won't be able to get a 6 cap because top was just re-grabbed, but they will get bottom lane, the most important lane here on Towers of Doom.
Red team has destroyed.
And a miscalculation on my part, as they do have with the Varian and the Zul'jin, I did miscalculate. They are taking these towers back pretty decently quick. As Eternal Peace is going to come out in the Stukov's going to be 2-man silence. The Guillotine is going to come out, and Azmo Donger is going to fall in the silence as we see. Ooh, we need to talk about this. Banner of Dalaran online for Varian, getting that extra 20% spell power, which does apply to Guillotine and literally every ability that Orphea has outside of her autos, because, you know, obviously nothing she has is physical damage. So lots of damage coming online now as Poopy and Decon are up top lane checking the boss. As a 4-man gang squad's waiting for him in the push. The Tomb is going to come out, and the Arthas is going to burn Army of the Dead right after the poly expires. And with that kill, Army of the Dead down completely. Another 30 seconds until the altar spawns, and Arthas out for 40. It's going to be a 5-on-4 for this bell tower fight.
Yeah, very tough. Boss, of course, still on the map. That's worth 4 points. There you see Hanzo starting to work on it, and I don't think there's a response here. Question mark now is 10 seconds until this altar spawns. Will Saka Bricks be able to be in 2 places at the same time? They're just going to take the 4 on the boss, but it would have been 5 on the altar, which is going to be passed on over. Or will it? Dragon's Arrow interrupt is there, and a defense will come out here, B-Train.
Absolutely great timing on the arrows. We are going to see 2 people dive into the backline. Very super far forward as Orphea is going to pop the Eternal Feast. Zul'jin is going to come super far in the front line as Andre on the Nubrak is down, but they do. Oh no, Varian with a protected value. Looking like Medivh on this field, protected, gaining so much work as the Brightwing is going to split A-Dub's Orphea. Showstop is nuking away as 20s are online for Saka Bricks, who have a 4 versus 4 fight on their hands.
Azmo interrupt there on A-Dubs. He's on the front line right now, and Arthas lands that Howling Blast, and now has to back up as Shanty B taking a lot of damage. Brightwing still in here, spreading out the heals. Guillotine whipped there by Showstopper. Didn't, of course, have that banner of Dalaran, as Variant's still dead for another 24 seconds. Noob's still down for 30 seconds, so it's a 4v4 here, but it's so important right now that Azmo Carry doesn't lose this altar because they're only on 6 core health. They can't afford to drop any more. And so staying alive, waiting for Varian, just poking this out as much as they can until then. That's exactly what they're trying to do. But they don't have level 20s. 20s are here for Sack of Bricks. So what can you do once a noob's up and a noob just now respawning full strength, full teams?
With Cocoon coming online, able to turn this level advantage into a 5v4 with the same level disadvantage for Azmo Carry. Orphea taking a lot of damage. Arthas is going to hit 2. We're going to get Demonic Invasion coming out as Orphea has to run away. Stukov is going to get Cocoon. No burst healing, no armor. As Asmodee falls extremely low, Leoric is going to be the first one to fall. Jin absolutely skunking and choking away as the Dragon Arrow is going to hit 4 members and absolutely deletes Jin. We see the pigs coming out on the backline as Orphea is going to be the next to fall. Anubarak does go down, but I still think that this trade is in favor as Poopy, excuse me, this is now a 2v3. Poopy living in the backline with 200 HP. Stukov, the swipe anti-synergy as, oh my god, Varian going in, getting the final cleanup as he is running rampant like a rabid tiger in this game. Brightwing looks like she should be able to stall this long enough for Leo to come back with that trait value. Blank Eclipse dipping his toe in this pool as well with the Stukov as this never-ending fight is leading to level 20 about to be online for the side of Azmo Carry, and they have a 3v2 right now.
They might get a kill here on Varian. Leoric chasing, 70 health left. Varian survives. Now they're looking at Arthas, more draining coming out from Big Leo. And I make that Poopy. I don't think you're getting out of here. What a turnaround. What just happened? Sack of Bricks was behind so far in that. Lost so many heroes. Stixa got way too aggressive when he fell. And I thought for sure Azmo Carry was going to take the altar. Finally, Leoric respawns and got the trait value he needed back up at the perfect time and swung that right back in the favor of Sack of Bricks.
Full creepy hand build from Leoric, getting mega value in these fights. You know, Leo is kind of a nuisance in lane if he does land the hand, but if not, it doesn't, you know, you can win that lane, but now not missing hardly any of these. He lands another hand onto the Varian who's going to get the polymorph and the Entomb coming out.
Playing the game!
Play the game from the Hanzo, rewind from Anubarak, secures that kill as now they do have a 5v3 advantage for the next 15 seconds.
I am straight pogging after that arrow came in. Tremendous from Sticks to play the game at 20. Here's the Demonic Invasion yet again. They pick up another structure. Boss is still a minute away. Potential opportunity for a Sapper Camp top, but it's still just the 1 core health remaining here for Azmo Carry, and no opportunity anywhere on the map to finish this off quite yet for Sack of Bricks. They are going to try to take this top fort, and they'll do just that, just like butter. We're going to rip through the remainder of that. Altar spawning 30 seconds, and B-Train, this is almost checkmate right now in favor of Sack of Bricks.
Yeah, the only thing that, you know, could go worse for them is that bottom tower could still be down. They do have it up. And with 2 of these altars spawning and with 3 big beefy heroes like, you know, the Anub and the Leo, as they look like they're going to make a cheeky play, rotating 4 members bottom. They're going to dive in and just convert this bell tower. So they're just going to get the 6 cap. It's literally checkmate on 3 fronts as they're going to take the bottom tower. They're going to get the automatic shots, and it is turned over. And with 1 shot left on the core, the GGs are coming out from the players, the sprays. Great series from start to finish. Good game, Sack of Bricks.
They end up getting the reverse sweep. Azmo Carry winning game 1, fall in game 2 and game 3 to Sack of Bricks, who are your winners tonight. Their first win of the season, losing week 1 to Clouded Minds. Azmo Carry picking up their first loss on the season, winning week 1 up against Peach Boys. So these teams are right there neck and neck in the standings, and both trying to fight their way up here in Division D West.
Yeah, that game was wild. Those last couple Shrine fights were endless. You know, the 2-level lead, for one team, they get picks, and then the other team comes in and somehow gets these miracle kills while down their Storm talent advantage, at 20, and it lasts so long that they get it to come online and completely reset, and heroes are just coming in left and right, falling like dominoes, and it's just the sparks were insane.
So mentioned in chat by Red, the chat curse strikes again. All 3 games, chat was wrong picking our winner. So it means congratulations to Sack of Bricks. Let's see if we can pull someone from SOB in for an interview. Looks like I got Stixa potentially on the line. So B-Train, let me move up to lobby 1. We'll try to get him in here.
Alrighty.
All right. And now joining us for the interview, my good friend and companion from long time ago and still to this day, Stixa. How you doing, my man?
Good, man. Thank you. Thanks for casting. Last second grab there. I know, given circumstances, but you didn't even know I was on the team, and it worked out anyway.
Some straight pog in that match at the end, locking in with that play of the game. Dragon's Arrow was a lot of fun to see. You're gonna go back. You're gonna watch the replay. There's a couple things I was like, come on, Stixa, you're better than that.
Definitely.
But it was a lot of fun. All right, let's go back, rewind. Game 1, you lose it. But you guys were ahead on Dragonshire. What happened there that made you end up losing it? Was it the scaling that we saw come out from our Tychus player? Or was there something else there that maybe you saw?
I think a lot of it was due to Tychus and just Andrade with taking so much damage from Tychus there. And I think that was a lot of the issue in the team fights. But we think the game was lost in that bot lane where they ended up getting a triple kill on us, and it just kind of snowballed from there. We started off strong, and it just went downhill. But these things happen, and we came back.
B-Train, anything game 1?
As far as just game 1, we commented on it a couple times. They had an extremely annoying setup. Gazlo just leaving turrets everywhere, like droppings almost, and breadcrumbs.
Dismount City, man. Dismount
City.
Oh, we talked about the dismount on Diablo at the end.
The dismount on Diablo at the end, yeah. On the fight for that bottom keep, Diablo goes for this huge flank, and Gazlo turrets just made it turn into a 10,000-year journey. Was that honestly like such a disruptor on the field that it really kind of changed the timing of everything for you guys?
Honestly, I think we just kind of went to auto-attack them. I know I was auto-attacking them every time I saw a turret. I was like, yo, screw this thing. Let's get it out of the way. But no, dismounting in Heroes of the Storm is huge. And dismounting a tank who's going in for an engage is horrible, right? It's good for you dismounting, but it's horrible for us as the tank player getting dismounted. So, yeah, I kind of screwed up our engages, but I think if we just saw the turrets, we just auto-attack them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, game 1, obviously, the late game didn't go in your favor, but game 2, you came out swinging Battlefield of Eternity. You guys won every single objective on Battlefield of Eternity. How did you switch it around? I know we got to see you on Hanzo. You got to switch up your heroes. But was there anything else, map number 2, that really stood out? Because I know there's one thing for me, and I want to see if you also say the same thing.
So we usually like to pick up Diablo, and we go heavy on Diablo and Anubarak, and I believe Anubarak was actually banned.
And you guys banned Diablo.
Yeah, we banned Diablo, and they banned Anubarak, I think, is how it was in their second ban phase. So we ended up going for Mal'Ganis. I like the Mal'Ganis here. I think this is we don't really play with Mal'Ganis very often, but I like the Mal'Ganis pickup. I really liked having just the ranged poke and just being able to send 4 members over to defend while I'm just kind of ripping into the Immortal just to get as much of the damage in as possible. I don't know. It's all kind of like a blur. I'm still hyped off that last game.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about that next. Do want to say thank you in chat. We'll know for the follow, and H. Fowler Thorne for stopping in and saying thanks for casting. I will not let HOTS die. Don't you worry, my friend. So game 2 was, in my opinion, a lot better. We saw the Genji bans continue all 3 games, but the Butcher ban came out. Was this a target ban on something? What was happening there, Stixa?
Yes, so it was a target ban. particularly because we did a little bit of scouting beforehand. You'll see that we banned Stitches a couple of times. So we looked at a little bit of their match history, and we noticed that there was a lot of Stitches Medivh, which is why we banned Stitches, I think, in game 2 or maybe in game 1 and in game 3.
Yep.
Yeah, because we don't want the portals and Gorge Man is horrible. But the Butcher ban was against, I believe, I Make Da Poopy.
We had fun with
yeah.
that tonight.
Yeah, so against them, if you look at their level, their player level 250, and their level 92 Butcher, which
Oh, God.
absolutely kills me. I think this is freaking phenomenal.
Okay.
So that's
Scouting
why we
report.
went with we went with the Butcher band purely because the way that we saw their draft going, we're like, ooh, maybe they're going
Yeah.
Butcher. Let's get it out of the way.
B-Train, anything game 2 from you?
Game 2 was pretty straightforward. The only questions I had were for that Butcher ban, but yeah, for me, game 2 was pretty cut and dry.
Wait, you know what I forgot to mention? Late game, perfect execution to close it out. You guys walk in, I think you had your level 20s. Yeah, you did, because you had the Archon from Liming. But you guys used the Archon, you used the range from Hanzo, and you guys just stood in there and said, we're going to stand here until you can walk at us, and they just couldn't do that. So you won the fight, you won the game. Was that a plan the whole time? How did that come about?
Well, we typically think Archon is a meme, but we believe Archon was MVP that game, 100% near the end of the game. I think just the zoning potential of Archon in that scenario ended up working out very well, and because of the core damage being as low as it was, they're at I think 30% or something. It was easy enough to just walk in and just hold Archon down with a couple of people dead and just kind of get rid of the shields. We had like a camp and a couple of catapults coming in, so just kind of sieging it out. And then if we got them a little bit poked down, you could force them back into the well and just give enough room for the catapults to do some work.
It was beautiful. Beautifully executed, beautifully thought out, beautiful everything. So Battlefield of Eternity ends, and we're looking now at a map number 3. And if I'm not mistaken, this was your map selection. Is that correct?
That's incorrect. No.
That's incorrect. They picked this
We-
one. Okay.
Yes, we picked BOE and they picked TOD.
Okay.
Funny enough, all 3 of the maps were maps that we were actually looking to play today. So we were going to first pick Dragonshire, however, they picked it. Then we ended up losing, we picked BOE, and then they lost and they ended up picking TOD. So I thought that was pretty funny. We got to play all 3 of the maps that we wanted to play today.
Yeah, so my question was going to be, were you worried going in if it was their pick? But I guess the answer is no.
No, because we were looking forward to that map. We got slapped on it last week, and we took a little bit of what we dealt with last week and put it into this game as well. So with the Azmodan in particular, we took Demonic Invasion. We just played a little bit of a ring around the rosy.
You guys went with an auto attack build there, I noticed, picking up, sorry, what's it called at 4? It's called Battleborn and then 7 Bombardment. It's really like that auto attack build. Is that something that your Azmodan player normally plays? Because it seemed like they were trying to target ban out Azmo all night.
I don't know. I mean, personally, when I play Azmodan, those are the talents that I pick. I don't know if Shank usually picks those.
Yeah, I think they get value, but sometimes it's just tough to stand up in the front line as an Azmodan.
For sure.
Auto attacks off, so it's riskier. But I mean, end of the map, you guys won it, so really can't say it didn't work out.
Yeah.
B-Train, any last questions here before we?
Yeah. I was looking and I was hoping and dreaming that you guys were down for the memeing at level 10. And I saw the Orc take Tomb and you messed it up. You took Dragon's Arrow.
Yeah, but the Dragon's Arrow ended up coming in huge clutch, I would say. I think I stalled 2 or 3 caps, so
Yeah,
I mean,
there was at least one really clutch one where I thought for sure you guys were getting the boss, and I thought you didn't have enough time to show up, but you just found the angle barely. I mean, it's a blind shot, of course, but you got the interrupt on it, and ultimately ended up getting those 5 shots from the altar as well. So it did get value. You're right.
Yeah, Dragon's Arrow was 100% always a better pick. But
yeah.
did you ever did it cross your mind Tomb Dragon Strike?
No. Not once. Not
All right.
once. I think if I grow W at 1, then maybe I'll grab that for some memes maybe later on in the season. Who knows?
So, Stixa, I'd love to stay and chat all night, but it's now 12:21 a.m. here on the East Coast. We've rolled over to
The next day.
Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Wednesday now.
Wednesday, my dude.
Oh, we're Wednesday. So, I'm going to have to let you go. But before I let you go, of course, opportunities for shout-outs, last words, anything you got to say, Stixa. Let them know where they can find you.
All right. Huge shout out to the team tonight. We definitely showed up a lot better than last week. Way to go. Thanks for you guys for casting. Definitely appreciate it. Of course, that last minute grab. And GG's to the opposing team, man. I was a little worried about this game, but we did pretty well. So that's all. You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Stixa. Just like that. You may catch me do a cast later on in the season. Maybe I'll jump in with Murda. Who knows?
B-Train, a very special thanks for you for joining me, and of course will be joining me for the second half of our late night, what the hell are we doing, double header right now. So B-Train, pleasure there. Of course I'm going to chop up this VOD, so if you're watching this set, know that B-Train is the man, and I appreciate him joining us here tonight.
Absolutely, my pleasure to be here.
Good. So, you guys in Twitch, don't leave your seats. We have more Nexus Gaming Series action coming at you in just a few moments. We're moving over to Division A, a match I completely whiffed on earlier and slept through. Took a nap and didn't hear an alarm. So we're staying up late. We're getting the cast in right now. If you're here for PFM and Luxorian Sun, stay in your seats. Don't go anywhere. I'm Murda. That's been B-Train. Stixa joining us for the interview. Thank you for the sub, B-Train. God damn. We'll be back in a few minutes. Love you guys. See you soon.